You work hard for your money, yet a surprising amount of it quietly slips away on things that don't genuinely improve your life. And one of the most common and overlooked examples of this is brand name groceries and household products, because many people assume that a higher price automatically means higher quality, when in reality that's often not the case at all. Walk through any supermarket and you'll see shelves lined with familiar logos that have been advertised for decades, creating a sense of trust, comfort, and even nostalgia, but behind the scenes, the truth is far less glamorous. Store brand or generic items are frequently manufactured in the very same factories as their brand name counterparts, using nearly identical recipes, ingredients, and production processes, and they are required to meet the same safety and quality standards set by regulators. In many cases, the only real difference between the expensive option and the cheaper one is the label on the packaging and the marketing budget behind it. Major brands spend millions, sometimes billions, on advertising campaigns, celebrity endorsements, eye-catching designs, and prime shelf placement, and that cost doesn't come out of thin air. It's built directly into the price you pay at the checkout. When you reach for a brand name out of habit or recognition, you're often paying extra for years of marketing influence rather than any meaningful improvement in taste, performance, or reliability. This adds up quickly, especially for everyday essentials like cereal, pasta, cleaning supplies, paper products, spices, canned foods, and the counter medications, which are items you buy again and again without much thought. A small difference of a few cents or $1 per item may seem insignificant in the moment, but over weeks, months, and years, it can quietly drain hundreds or even thousands from your budget. What makes this even more frustrating is that many people who carefully budget or look for ways to save still overlook this area, believing that cutting back means sacrificing quality or comfort, when in reality they could maintain the same standard of living while spending far less. Store brand products have improved dramatically over the years, with many retailers investing heavily in quality control, product testing, and even premium private label lines that rival or outperform well-known brands. Taste tests frequently show that people can't reliably tell the difference between brand, name, and generic items, and when they can, the difference is often so minor that it doesn't justify the higher cost. Yet branding is powerful, and companies rely on familiarity, loyalty, and routine to keep consumers paying more than necessary. By simply pausing to compare ingredients, nutrition labels, and product specifications, you can see how similar these items truly are, and by giving store brands a fair chance, you often discover that nothing about your daily life changes except the amount of money left in your bank account. Choosing generic doesn't mean being cheap or settling for less. It means being intentional, informed, and unwilling to overpay for a logo. When you redirect those savings toward things that actually matter, like building an emergency fund, reducing debt, investing, or enjoying experiences that bring real value, you begin to realize how much power small, mindful choices can have. In the end, the goal isn't to never buy brand names again, but to break the automatic habit of assuming they're always better, because once you understand how much of the price is tied to marketing rather than substance, it becomes clear that brand, name groceries, and household products are one of the easiest places to stop wasting money without sacrificing quality or comfort at all. Another major and surprisingly common drain on your finances is unused subscriptions, which have become so normalized in modern life that most people barely notice them anymore, because signing up for a few dollars here and there for streaming services, music apps, cloud storage, online fitness platforms, or premium memberships doesn't feel expensive in the moment, but the reality is that these small recurring charges quietly add up and can easily cost you hundreds of dollars each month for services you rarely, if ever, use. The subscription economy has exploded over the past decade, offering endless options for convenience, entertainment, and even productivity, and companies have perfected the art of making subscriptions seem almost invisible. Automatic payments ensure that you don't have to think about them, and free trials or low initial costs make it easy to sign up without noticing the long-term financial impact. But this design relies entirely on inertia. Once the subscription is active, most people will keep paying simply because it is easier than canceling. Many of these services are billed monthly, and while a single subscription for 5 that comes with 10 or even 15 may seem trivial, when you combine several of them, the streaming service you forgot you signed up for, the cloud storage plan you only used for a short project, the fitness app you tried during a motivated month, or the premium shopping membership you no longer visit, the total expense quickly balloons into a significant monthly outflow that drains your resources without providing meaningful value. The problem is compounded by the fact that these subscriptions often don't provide any immediate pain, unlike a one-time impulse purchase that you might regret at checkout. Recurring charges silently erode your financial stability over time, making it easy to overlook the cumulative effect, and yet this invisible spending is just as real and just as damaging to your budget. The simplest way to tackle this issue is through awareness and deliberate evaluation. If you haven't opened, used, or benefited from a subscription in the past 30 days, it's a clear indicator that it's no longer worth the money, and holding on to it only perpetuates waste. Many people convince themselves they might use it someday, or that it's only a few dollars. But in reality, money spent on services you don't actually utilize is money that could have been directed towards savings, investments, paying down debt, or other purchases that genuinely improve your life. Regularly reviewing your subscriptions, ideally on a monthly or quarterly basis, allows you to identify which ones are unnecessary, and canceling them is often easier than expected. Most platforms provide simple unsubscribe options that terminate the service without any disruption to your daily routine. By doing this, you not only prevent hundreds of dollars from slipping away each month, but you also reclaim control over your spending habits and reinforce the practice of intentional financial decision making. Over time, this simple habit of auditing subscriptions can free up substantial funds, allowing you to invest in experiences, education, or tangible items that bring lasting value rather than silently draining your bank account. And it transforms the way you approach recurring costs by forcing you to question whether every automatic payment truly serves your life or merely exists out of habit, convenience, or forgetfulness. In the end, unused subscriptions are a subtle but significant financial leak, one that is completely within your power to stop. And by taking proactive steps to cancel what you don't need, you prevent money from quietly vanishing each month and ensure that your spending aligns with your priorities, goals, and actual usage, turning what once was a hidden drain into an opportunity to save, invest, and regain control over your financial well-being. Fast fashion clothing is another financial trap that keeps people spending far more than they realize, because while inexpensive, trendy garments may seem like a good deal at first, the reality is that these items are often made from low quality materials and produced with minimal attention to durability, which means they wear out quickly, lose their shape, fade, or even fall apart after just a few washes, forcing you to replace them again and again. And over time, this constant cycle of buying cheap, disposable clothing can cost far more than if you had invested in a few high quality, well made pieces that last for years and actually improve in appearance over time. The fast fashion model thrives on encouraging consumers to chase trends at breakneck speed, releasing new collections weekly or even daily, and creating a sense of urgency that convinces people they need the latest styles immediately, often leading to impulse purchases and overflowing wardrobes filled with clothes that are rarely worn more than a handful of times. Retailers rely on flashy marketing, influencer partnerships, and social media hype to create a perception of value, but the true cost is hidden. Every dollar spent on cheaply made garments is money spent on items that won't provide lasting satisfaction, and the environmental and ethical costs, such as unsustainable production practices, exploitative labor, and excessive waste, are often ignored, meaning that fast fashion doesn't just drain your wallet, but also contributes to long-term global problems. Many people don't stop to consider the bigger picture. They see a 10 shirt and think they're saving money, but if that shirt lasts only a month before it tears or loses its shape, the cost per wear skyrockets, and suddenly what seemed inexpensive is actually one of the least efficient ways to spend money on clothing. In contrast, investing in a few high-quality, timeless pieces made from durable fabrics, crafted with care, and designed to fit well, may require a higher upfront cost, but the long-term benefits far outweigh the initial expense. These garments maintain their shape, texture, and color, often become wardrobe staples, and can even look better with age, creating a personal style that feels effortless and polished while requiring far fewer repeated purchases. Furthermore, buying fewer, better quality items encourages a more mindful approach to fashion, helping you make intentional choices rather than giving in to constant impulse, which in turn saves both money and mental energy by reducing clutter and decision fatigue in your daily routine. The financial savings are significant when you think of the repeated trips to stores, online orders, and the hundreds of dollars spent annually on items that barely last a season over several years. The cost of consistently replacing fast fashion items often surpasses what you would have spent on a well-curated, quality wardrobe that lasts for a decade or more. Beyond personal finances, high-quality clothing also tends to have more versatility, making it easier to mix and match pieces, dress up or down, and maintain a cohesive style without constantly needing to chase trends or fill gaps in your closet. By recognizing the hidden cost of fast fashion and shifting your focus toward durable, well-fitting clothing, you break free from the endless cycle of spending money on disposable garments, gain satisfaction from owning items that truly last, and develop a wardrobe that reflects both personal style and financial wisdom. In the end, the cheap, disposable appeal of fast fashion is illusory. It keeps you spending more than necessary while delivering less in return. Whereas investing in quality pieces provides long-term value, improves your appearance, reduces stress, and ultimately saves money, proving that sometimes paying more upfront is the smartest way to spend, especially when it comes to clothing. Daily coffee runs and convenient snacks may seem harmless at first, almost like a little treat to get you through your day, but the truth is that they add up faster than almost any other small expense, quietly draining hundreds of dollars from your wallet each month without you even noticing, because buying a coffee, energy drink, or snack every workday, or even a few times a week, turns into a surprisingly significant cost over time, often exceeding the total amount you spend on an entire grocery bill. And the problem isn't about enjoying these indulgences occasionally. It's about turning them into automatic, mindless habits that your body and your budget absorb without question. Most people underestimate how quickly these small purchases accumulate. For example, a $4 lat 5 days a week is already $20 per week, $80 per month, and nearly 30,000 per year. And when you add a couple of snacks, protein bars, or convenience meals into the mix, it's easy to see how this small daily treat quietly becomes a serious financial leak that provides minimal long-term satisfaction. The challenge lies in the habitual nature of these purchases because they are convenient, readily available, and socially reinforced. Everyone grabs a coffee on the way to work or a snack between meetings. It's easy to fall into a routine that feels normal and even necessary, but is actually costing far more than it seems. The good news is that this doesn't mean giving up coffee or snacks entirely. Rather, it's about being intentional and strategic, such as preparing drinks and snacks at home, bringing them with you, or limiting store bought indulgences to occasional treats. Even replacing half of your daily purchases with homemade alternatives can free up a surprising amount of money over the course of a month, giving you financial breathing room without sacrificing comfort or enjoyment. And it allows you to redirect that money toward more meaningful uses like savings, investing, or experiences that bring lasting value. Making coffee at home, for instance, can cost a fraction of the price of a cafe drink, yet you still get the same caffeine boost and satisfaction and preparing snacks in advance. Whether it's fruit, nuts, or homemade bars, eliminates the need for expensive convenience options while improving nutrition and portion control. Another overlooked aspect is the psychological effect of automatic spending. Because these purchases are small and frequent, they rarely trigger any awareness or guilt, so people continue spending without thinking, whereas one larger, intentional purchase at home feels more deliberate and controlled, making it easier to manage both your money and your consumption. Over time, this simple change in habits can accumulate into significant savings, and the beauty of it is that you're not depriving yourself, you're simply taking control of when, where, and how you spend on these everyday pleasures. Additionally, by reducing reliance on daily store, bought coffee and snacks, you also gain flexibility and reduce stress around minor decisions during your busy day because you already have prepared, affordable, and satisfying options available, eliminating the need for spontaneous purchases that feel convenient in the moment but are costly in the long run. In the bigger picture, the cumulative effect of these small, repeated expenses is a stark reminder of how subtle spending habits can quietly erode financial stability, and by addressing them with mindful, intentional changes, you reclaim both money and control, proving that even the smallest daily habits, like where you get your coffee or snacks, have an outsized impact on your overall financial health, making it possible to enjoy these treats without letting them silently siphon away your hard-earned income.